Now we have the next section as SAP Fiori. So this is a new platform which SAP has provided. This can be used on the web browser through which we will be able to do the configuration as well as we will be also able to carry out the day-to-day business activities from the end user standpoint. So it is saying that about this SAP Fiori that this is a new web browser provided by the SAP, and it is a alternate to log into the SAP ERP system. So we know that we use SAP GUI, so that GUI we use on the laptop, on the desktop, but this Fiori, which we can use it on any of the device. Then it is saying that it supports the multiple devices like your operating system Windows, then we have iOS and we have also Android. So it is a console of multiple application, and these applications are related to the multiple functional areas we have, particularly finance, sales, inventory. So in the traditional GUI, we use a transaction code, whereas in the SAP Fiori, we use applications. We have been given a application catalog. Under this application catalog, we have different groups of application, and under these group of application, we will have the relevant application. So these application could be for the day-to-day business activity like posting of accounting entry, then display the GL account balance, display the line item, then any kind of report we want to analyze. So these application we will be able to use it. Then it is saying that SAP Fiori apps types. What are the types of Fiori application we have? So first is the transactional, which will help us to process the transactions. So these could be creation of document or any kind of changes you want to have in the document. Then second kind of application we have the analytical app. So under the analytical app, we can display, we can see the dashboards, we can see the KPIs, matrices. Whereas in the fact sheet application, we can just see the fact sheets about any object. So here it could be a contextual information about any particular object. So it is saying that this is how it looks like. This is a transactional. So in this transactional application, we can just post the accounting entry. So these are, if it is not visible, but these are the like header and line item in which we can process the transaction. This is the amount with which the transaction has been posted. This is a kind of I would say KPI or matrices or the dashboards or the report which we can just see for the senior management. They can review, they can analyze the performance. Then this is a fact sheet. So for any particular employee or for a particular profit center or object, you want to see the information in detail. So that information will be able to get it through the fact sheet application. Then it is saying that this Fiori application has been designed based on which principle. So it is going to be a role-based application. So based on the profile of the user, so we will like map it to the roles we have in the SAP. In the SAP Fiori, I would say in the finance we have multiple roles available, and we can assign the relevant role to that particular user so that he would be able to carry out the relevant activities. Then it is saying that responsiveness. So this application we can use on any of the devices. Simple. So it is going to give us the information, fluid information. Like the information is, I would say it is easy to get the information. Then seamless experience. So this is made so that it can give some great experience to the users. User should be delightful. In the traditional GUI, so user were like supposed to remember or note down the transaction codes. But here they know that okay, these applications are available on their desktop, like on their SAP desktop and Fiori desktop, I would say. And they need to just go to a relevant app and they would be able to complete the transaction. Then it is saying that why Fury? Because it is going to increase the productivity of a user. So it is fast, direct access to the relevant information. Then through this, we can also have the transparency on the item which need the attention, like through the KPI or through the report matrices. So it is going to give the relevant information to the management, and accordingly they can make the quick decision. Then this is also going to help the user to decide the future action. So as I just shared with you, So based on the figures, facts we have, and this is how it is going to present to the user. So it will help those user to take the actions. Then allow the user to take the again the same thing here. Then the increase satisfaction. So through this, it would be easy for the user to access the information, to analyze the information, to slice and dice the information. So in that report, we can just see it. Then it can be used on, this can be used as a mini dashboard. So the in the morning, if I want to see, okay, how much is my sale, how much is my cost, how much profit we have generated. So through this application, we will be able to get those dashboards, and through the dashboard, we'll be able to get that information. Then it can be used for the indicative status, like the number of tasks pending, total tasks we have, and these we have performed, these are left over, these need attention. So that kind of information we can also set up on the SAP Fiori through the applications. Then it is saying that about this Fiori Launchpad, how we can use it. So we can use it on any of the web browser. It could be Chrome, it could be Edge. If you are using or if you want to trigger this SAP Fiori application. So for that, you need to log into your ERP GUI system. And on that, you need to run this transaction code. It is /UI2 /FLP. So /UI means user interface 2, and FLP stands for Fiori Launchpad. Then it can be also given by your Fiori administrator. So a shortcut would be provided on your office laptop and or on your system. And if you just click on this, then it will take you directly to the SAP Fiori, where you need to enter your ID password and you will be able to access your Fiori applications. Then Fiori administrator set up a default launchpad based on the user, like that user is related to the finance, sales, inventory. So based on that, he is going to give the application access. Then the Fiori relevant application access will be provided to the user. Then the Launchpad can be modified, personalized. So as per the user, it is not that it is going to be fixed. So the application we can add, remove, we can also like make the changes with the application. So that kind of flexibility is available. Then Fiori tiles update in the real time. So when we are working on the GUI or when we are working on the Fiori, so system is going to update the table in the real time. So whatever the data we process in the backend, how system is going to manage that data. So that data is managed in the form of table. So whether we are entering the information on the Fiori application or on the GUI, so in the real time that information gets updated in the table, and we'll be able to see the update. We will able to see, okay, let's say I made a posting on the Fiori. So on the GUI, I would be able to see that balance, or I would just see that change in the balance. Same thing, if I made anything on the GUI, I would be able to see that change on my Fiori application. Why? Because for both of these two platforms, system is updating the information in the backend in the table in the real time. Then Fiori hosts the application for the given department. We have particularly finance, and we have also controlling. So in the finance, we will be working on the component like the general ledger accounting, account payable accounting, account receivable accounting, and asset accounting. On the controlling side, we have cost center accounting, profit center accounting, internal order, product costing, and profitability analysis. So why we use this component called general ledger accounting? So at a very high level, in this component of SAP FI module, we will be creating the GL, and after creating those GL, we will be posting the transaction. After posting the transaction, we will analyze it. We will do the clearing if required. Otherwise, automatic clearing option would be there. And after that, there are some activities which are to be carried out in the month end. And finally, we will be able to pull out the report from the system for this component. Then in this, we will be maintaining different kinds of GL, and what kind of GL those would be. Those would be your income GL, expense GL, balance sheet GL. Under the balance sheet, we have the liability, we have the assets, we have the secondary GL, we have the non-operating GL. So those GL we will be maintaining under the general ledger accounting. So this account payable accounting is also known as sub ledger accounting. Why we call it as a sub ledger accounting? Actually, GL is your main ledger account, and this account payable is your subledger accounting. First of all, it is used for the supplier who is going to, from whom you are going to procure the goods or services. So whatever the transactions we will be doing for the supplier, so those transactions are also going to update your GLs. So that is the reason we call them as a sub-ledger accounting. Why? Because it update your GL accounting as well. Then same way we have the account receivable accounting. It is also used as a sub-ledger accounting where we will actually in this we will use this sub-ledger accounting for our customer to whom we are going to sell our product or services. And here also we will be creating the customer's account. In this customer's account, we will be processing the transaction, and those transactions are also going to update your GL account. Those GL which we have maintained under the general ledger accounting. Then it is saying that the last component we have asset accounting where we will be creating the fixed assets of the company. So fixed assets here means land, building, plant and machinery. And the important activity we have in this fixed asset accounting, it is the posting of depreciation. So on which set of asset we need to post how much depreciation, and that is a kind of monthly activity which we need to carry out in the month end. And how we can do the setting for the depreciation calculation, how we can do the purchase of asset, sale of asset, transfer the value of asset from one asset to another asset, scrapping of assets. So all these activities we are going to see under the fixed asset accounting. Then we have the controlling module. Under that, we are going to work on the cost center accounting. So cost center accounting is a kind of a department-wise accounting. Let's say we have finance, inventory, marketing, HR, R&D. So these are the functional areas we have. Under these department, we are incurring the expense, and these expense could be the day-to-day business expense. It could be the expense on the electricity, or it is on the on the repair, maintenance, salary, wages, rent, or some sales and promotion expense. So these expenses we are, or stationary expense. So these expenses we are going to allocate department wise, and at the end of the day we will be able to come to know that okay, this particular expense we have, or let's say for a particular department, so we have, let's say, sales department, marketing department, how much expense we have incurred on the salary, wages, rent. So that information will be able to drive it through the cost center account. Then we have the profit center accounting, and this is going to give us the information at a profit center level in the manufacturing companies. So in the most of the cases, we create these plant as a profit centers. Then we have the internal audit. So again, it is a extension of the cost center accounting. So this is kind of a temporary cost center where we will be keeping the cost temporary purpose. And after that, we are going to settle that cost. Settle means we are going to transfer the cost from the internal audit to the other CO object. Now that other CO object could be a cost center, it could be the WPS element, it could be some other CO object. Then we have the product costing where if we need to manufacture a product, and for that how much cost we need to incur on the material, on the activities, so that we will be able to drive it under the product costing. Then we have the profitability analysis. So this is the kind of report which we can create for the senior management, so they can analyze that for a particular profitability segment. So that profitability segment could be a combination of multiple objects. It could be profit center, it could be segment, it could be product hierarchy. So based on this profitability segment, so we will be able to create that report and we can present to the senior management. So that is what we have under this SAP FICO module. Now we can go into the system and I will walk you through the SAP S4HANA system. So here we can just log in. So you can just see this kind of SAP logon pad you should have on your desktop. So how to set up it? So for that, I'm going to share you a video, also a link. You need to download that link. And after downloading that link, you need to unzip. And after the unzip, there would be a execute file. So you need to click on that execute file and it will take like 5 to 10 minutes. And after that, you will be able to see this SAP logon pad on your laptop or on your desktop. So if you double click on this, so in my case, system will be showing you us some servers. So here we can just double click on this. So you can just see we have some servers here, but in your case, the screen is going to be blank. So how you can add your SAP HANA server? For this, you need to click on this new entry button. And after that, you need to click on next button, click on the next button. And here you need to give the application server ID. So these are the three fields you need to enter, and after that you need to click on the finish button. After that, system will just start showing you this kind of server. So you need to just click on this. Then whatever the user ID password you will be given, so you need to use that user ID password here. So once you log in the system, so it will take you to the first screen, and the name of this first screen is SAP Easy Access Screen. SAP Easy Access Screen. On this screen, what we can do? So we can do the day-to-day business activity from the user standpoint. So user can carry out his day-to-day business activity on the SAP Easy Access screen. But from the consultant standpoint, so like what we can do on the screen? So on the screen, we can do the testing. Now this testing could be any kind of testing. It could be the system integration testing. It could be the unit testing. It could be your UAT testing. So all these testing you would be able to perform, and you want to run some scenarios. So that particular scenario you are not supposed to run in your production system. So all those activity you will be able to do it on your development system as well as on your quality system. So here if I just start from the top, so this is the menu bar we have, and under this menu bar we have this standard bar. So here in the menu bar, if you want to find out the information about the server you are working on, so you can get that information. So for example, you want to find out that on what is the version of the server we are working on. So you can get that version name. So for that, you need to go to the system. Under the system, you need to go to the second last option called status. You can click on the status, and then you can just see here we have the database name. You can just see the database name is, it is the HDB. HDB means this is the SAP HANA database we have. And if you want to find out the latest version we have, or the what is the version of this system, so you can just say this is the SAP system data. Under this we have this field called product version. See the detail. So you need to click on this magnifier lens, and after this you need to click on this tab called installed product version. So it is going to give you the information about the version we are working on. So this is the SAP S/4HANA 2023, and the Fiori application which we will be using. So that is again related to the year 2000 or version 2023. Now I'm going to close it, and this is the information we can have on this menu bar. So this is a standard bar we have. In this standard bar, we can just see here we have a green tick. So what is the use of this green tick? So this is just work as a enter button. So if you don't want to press the enter button on your laptop, then you can click on this button. It will take you to the next level. After this, we have this command box. If you just see, this is the command box. You need to click on this drop down. It is going to show you last 15 transaction code which we have used on this system. So on my system, I have used these many transaction code, last 15 transaction code, it is going to show me. Then after that, we can just see here, this is the arrow button through which we can close this command box, and we can also display the command box. Then after this, we can just see presently this save option is disabled, but when you have anything where you want or any information which you want to save, so that information can be saved with the help of this this save option. Then after that, we have the back arrow option. So if I just show you that how it looks like, so I'll just open a new session, and in that I'm going to run a transaction code F-02 that is related to the posting of data. Now you can just see this is a kind of a save button, okay, or the post button, how it looks like. And after that, we can just see here we have the next button that is the back arrow option. So if you want to go back to the previous screen, then you can click on this back arrow option. Then we have this exit option. If you want to come out of this document, you want to exit this task, or you want to log off, then for in that case, you can click on this exit or log off option. If you want to cancel any task, so for that we have this cancel option. Then we have the next button. This is for the printing. If you have the checks or you have the reports, then you want to print those reports, then in that case we can go for this print option. Then we can just see there are two binoculars we have. So first binocular we have, if you have a list of if you have been given a multiple objects, a list of multiple objects, and you want to find out the relevant object from that list, then in that case you can click on the binocular. It will take you that particular object. Let's say we have a list, and in that list I want to find out a object with the number 1000. So I can click on this binocular, and this will just work like your search option. Then the next option is search. We have the find next option. So what is the find next option? Actually, if that 1000 object is coming multiple time in the data, then it will show you that how many times it is getting repeated. So that information we will be able to see through this find next option. Then we can also see here we have been given these button. So you can just see this is a binocular. We have discussed find and find next. Then we have this four navigation button. Actually, this we can use in case we are in a particular report and that has multiple pages, or we are in a check that has multiple pages. So you can navigate from one page to another page with the help of these four options we have been given. So this is to go to the last page, this is go to the first next page, then this is the previous one, and this is the first one. Then next to this, we have the create session. So as I just shared with you, you can create the session by using this button or by clicking on this button. And the second option is you can go to this option and click on this create button. So here, how many session you can open? So again, it is subject to the server we are working on. So it can be six, it can be eight, it can be 10 also. Okay, but ideally it would be six. And if you are working in the production system, then the number of session would be like two to four, two to three only. Then the next is the help option. So if you want to get any technical information regarding any particular field, any object, so that technical information will be able to get it on this through this question mark. That is the help option. Then this is the customize local layout. So this will help us to customize or to make the cosmetic changes to our this GUI screen. So for example, this screen you want to make it big, small, or you want to increase the font size, you want to change the font size. So all these options you will be able to do it through this local layout option. So you need to click on this, go to the option, and then you can just see here we have the visual design. Under the visual design, so you can just see here we are on the color in the system. So by default this color of this system is blue, but you can also change the color. It can be changed to the golden color, green color, purple color, red color. So these are the multiple color which you can apply on your screen. What is the use of having this multiple color? Actually in the real time what happen, so we work on multiple systems. So that may be your production system, quality system, and your development system. Okay, but all the system look like same. So how we will be able to differentiate that? Okay, the system we are working on, it is a development or quality. So the first is the way you can just differentiate through these color. Okay, so to the production you can make it red, to the development you can make it green, to the quality you can give some different color. The second option is you need to you need to get that information you are working on which server. So here you can go to this system manager, and after that you can just see here it will give you the information about the system client. So through that you will be able to get the information. But every time we can't click on this option. That is the reason we can just make the changes to the layout or to the we can just change the color of the screen, which will help us to identify on which server we are working on. Then you can again go this layout, and here we have the visual design. Under this we have the font option. So you can just see if you want to increase the size, if you want to decrease the size, so accordingly you can just click on the select option. And here we have been given the option that we can change the font, we can change the size, and then we can click on the apply and OK. So I don't want to make any changes here now. So this was about the standard bar. Now this is the title bar. So title bar will give you the information in which screen you are working on, and that screen is used for what purpose. So for example, here I am using one screen where I need to post the GL account. So you can just see this title bar is giving us the option or the information that the screen we need to use it for the GL account posting. Same way, if I'm trying to make some payment, so for the payment, we can just see system is going to give us the information, particularly this title bar, that on this screen what we can do, we can post the outgoing payment. Same way, if we use another transaction code, so you can just see the screen is same, but you can just see the title. It is saying that the screen is used for the incoming payment, the previous one for the outgoing payment. So the information about the screen, we will be able to get it through this title bar. Then we can just come down and here we have the SAP menu bar. Under the SAP menu bar, so you can just go to the accounting option, and under the accounting, you will be able to get the information about the financial accounting, financial supply chain management, controlling. So you need to go to the accounting option. And under this, you will be able to get your component of FI. So that is your general ledger accounting, payable, receivable. Then you have your fixed asset accounting. So for example, you want to go to the general ledger accounting. Further, in the general ledger accounting, what do you want to do? You want to create any document entry, you want to display any document, you want to see the information related to any account, you want to create a account, you want to carry out any month end activity, which we call it as a periodic processing, you want to pull out any report. So these options are given, you need to go to the relevant option. Let's say I want to post a document. So for the posting of document, these options are given. So we can go to the relevant option and through this we can do the posting or it will help us to do the posting. Then we can just come out and we can just see here we have the through this option we can just see the information for those documents we have already posted in the system. So likewise we can use these actually this navigation path. Now if I just go to the master data and under the master data we have the GL and under the GL it will help us to create the GL account. So basically this screen we can use for the testing purpose and if I just see from the business standpoint, so we will be able to carry out day-to-day business activity we will be able to carry out on this SAP Easy Access screen. But being a developer, if I need to do the configuration, if the development is required, then if the same screen will work, no. So for that, we have a different screen. In order to go to that screen, you need to enter in the command box SPRO. SPRO stands for SAP Project Reference Object. SAP Project Reference Object. So we call it SPRO. So we also sometimes call it SPRO. So anything is fine. And after this, you need to click on this IMG button. SAP reference IMG. IMG stands for implementation guide. Click on this. Then after that, the same kind of navigation system will provide you. But on this navigation, you can do the configuration. You can do your development. So if I can do the development only for the FI module, no, you can do the development for multiple module, but provided you have been given the access. So ideally, we are allowed to make the configuration related to the FI area only. So for example, if I am a SD consultant, then the access will be given to the SD screen. But if I am a FI user, then the access will be given to the FI screens only. Now here I will go to the financial accounting and likewise here we have the sub component. So we can just see here we have the sub module or the component of FI. We have the general ledger accounting, account payable, receivable accounting, bank accounting, asset accounting. So these are the component we have under the SAP FI. Come out of here. Same way, if you want to work on the controlling, and under the controlling, we have these component like the cost center. We have discussed internal order, activity based accounting, costing is there, product costing is there. Then we have the profitability analysis, profit center accounting is there. So likewise, we can go and we can work on this. So this was about the navigation. Now we need to do the practice. So in order to do the practice, I have created a practice sheet and I'm going to share that practice sheet with you also so that you can also do the hands-on. Now this practice sheet I have created for each of the component. So for the basic setting, we have a different practice sheet for the general ledger accounting, account payable accounting, and so on and so forth. So we have this Word file. So I'm going to share with you this Word or PDF file. It is related to the SAP S4 HANA basic setting. Under this basic setting, I will walk you through the each of steps. So I will also walk you through the SAP Fiori app. This is the Fiori screen where you need to enter your user ID password. So here I'm using user ID password and then we can log in. So we can just click on the log on option because it is a test system. So it may working little slow. Okay. But the real time would be fast. So here we can just see here we have been given the SAP homepage, and under this homepage we can just see there are different tabs we have. So these are the group of your application. So for example, if I want to find out the application related to the journal entry, I can click on this and all the relevant application which we can just see through these tiles. Okay, these are called tiles. So we can see this information, we can process this information with the help of these tiles. Now, some of these tiles are also your informative tiles. So these are giving you the information. So for example, here you can just see how many journal entries have been verified by me, how many clearing document processed by me. So that kind of information we will be able to see on the screen. And if anybody is doing the processing in the background, then automatically these tiles will be updated. This information tile will be updated by the system automatically, and all this information we can just see. This is called the catalog. Okay, so under this catalog we have been given this group application. Under the group application we have the relevant application. So for example, we have the periodic activities for the asset accounting. Accordingly, you will be able to see here these applications. Now, who is going to give the access to this application? So this is given by the by your Fiori administrator. So Fiori administrator, based on your role, and accordingly he would be able to assign the relevant application, or I would say he would be able to assign the relevant role in the system. And after getting that role, you will be able to get those application on your system and you will be able to access it. Now we can just see these are the tabs, and under that we can just see multiple application. Now you need to, if you need to search for, let's say you are working, you are looking for a particular application or app or the tile which is not visible on the screen, so you can also search for it. So here you can just click on this find option and you can search for the application. And again, the search is not only for the application, it can be across the application also. So for example, you want to find out any bank chain, any table, any batches, you want to find out any billing document. So all these, like let's say if I want to find out the object, it is New York. Now wherever the New York has been set up, so all that objects is going to show you on the screen. Now here we have the user information, so we can go and check the user and profile. So here it is going to show you all those activities which we have performed on this Fiori application. So you can just see these many application I have used and when we have used. So all this information system is going to give you. Then the next is frequently activities which are performed by me. So that will be also shown by system. Find app. Okay, so the if you want to find the application on this or on this find app finder, so that will give the same effect. Then here actually what it will do under the app finder. So on your left side, so for each of the area, so you can just see we have the area. It is saying that accounting configuration. Then we have account payable. So component wise, it is going to give you the application information. So here we have the component, it is related to the account payable accounting. Likewise, we have account receivable accounting. Then we have the actual accounting, which is related to the material ledger. Then we have the asset accounting and so on and so forth. Cash management. Okay, so cash credit management. Then we have EAM. Then we have the EWM. Okay, these are the modules we have. We have finance if you want to do the general ledger accounting. Okay, so these are the areas. And if I want to go for the reporting, general ledger reporting, so it is going to give me the relevant. Here you can just see under the general ledger reporting, we have been given these many applications. We can go to the relevant application. Let's say the balance sheet we want to see. So click on this and accordingly it will just take us to the information. So because it is not a stable system, it is not a actually the real time system. Okay, so some information may be missing or it may give some error while giving that information. So here we need to provide the input, we need to give the some parameter, and after that system is going to give us the result. Then below this we have the setting, and this setting we can go to the appearance. So the way you make the customized changes you make the cosmetic changes to your GUI screen, same way we can also make the cosmetic changes to our Fiori. So if you want to change the color, so that color option has been given. So we can go and we can just accordingly change the color. Then we have the home page, and then we can go to the language and region. Okay, so in this language and region, so it will allow you to in which language you want to log in, you want to access this Fiori. Then further, what is the date format you want to have? Then what is the time format you want to have? What is the decimal when you want to enter any information in the currency? So how you want that decimal or the amount should be shown or processed by system. Then any information you want to default. Let's say I am working on the company code double to double eight. So every time I don't want to enter that company code double to double eight. Okay, so I can just make it default. Same is the field we have fiscal year. So since we know that we are working for the fiscal year 2024, so I don't want to enter this information again and again. Likewise, we have been given here multiple fields, and in these multiple fields we can apply the default information, and after that we can just save it. So here again it is in the different area we have. So you can just see it is related to the PLM, product life cycle, asset management, logistics. We have the bill S&D, sales and distribution, material management, supply chain, controlling, and same way we have the finance. So we also have the general information. So that was about the setting. Then this is the option through which you can just log off. Okay. So this is how we can navigate on the Fiori. So if you want to go to your home page, you need to click on this SAP. It will take you to the home page. Now on this home page, again you have these groups. Under this group, you can just go to the relevant tab and you can use it. Okay. So here also in the GUI, you have been given the option. You can go to the system, and we have the user profile. Under the user profile, just go back to the SAP Easy Access screen, and here we can go to the system, and we can go to the user profile, and we can go to the user data. Now here, this is the user data we have. If you remember, we can just see that date format, amount format. Okay, same way here also under the parameter, we can choose under the default, we can choose the decimal information, how the system is going to take the decimal notation, date format, time format. So that setting we can also do it on the SAP GUI. Okay, so that was the navigation information about the SAP GUI as well as SAP Fiori.